Welcome back to Fit Survive channel. So I reviewed the LoopDot from Loop Gear back when this was still on Kickstarter. So this is their final release version. And so in today's video, I want to kind of tell you a bit about the updates to this flashlight, kind of give you some more details about it, and then tell you about the Black Friday sale that they're currently running. And so as you can see, these now come in multiple colors. So you have this nice bright orange, purple, and then this forest green. Of course, also comes in a plain silver, and it is also available in titanium, which of course is going to cost you a bit more premium for that titanium. All right, so these updated, like I said, these are updated, so they've added several new features to it. They did several fixes to them as well. But the first thing I want to show you is going to be just the light itself, and a really cool feature that they added to the light. And so let's go outside for that, and I'll show you that right away. All right, so this flashlight has one of the coolest features here. So this is going to be the floodlight. And look, this is a true moonlight with just 0.1 lumens. All right, I'm going to gradually make this brighter here. All right, then a double click for the turbo. Then just a snap of your wrist. And immediately over to the spotlight, which is also a much cooler white light. So this is going to be the turbo also, since we snap our wrist. All right, I'm going to scroll down all the way down to, once again, very, very dim moonlight here. And you see now we're over to the spotlight. All right, so I don't know if I've ever seen a moonlight that low. That was just, it's insane how low that is. Like literally in this light, you probably won't even be able to see it. Let me turn this down real quick. You can't even tell that the flashlight is on. That is just how dim that moonlight is. So it is a true moonlight. And also, how cool is that flick of the wrist thing where you go between the floodlight and the spotlight? Now these do have some accessories, so you can get a case now for it. It does have a magnet here in the back, which might not be so practical since you can't swivel the head down. And so like if you were trying to use this for working, you can just put it on a flat surface, but it's going to just kind of shine forward. But anyways, it does have, you can attach a lanyard to the case. And so that way, if you are flicking your wrist to go between those, don't worry about tossing this or it's slipping out of your hand when you're doing that. All right, so then if you don't like lanyards, of course you can just simply not install that. Then also they have a pocket, I'm sorry, they have, yeah, this kind of a pocket clip here. It's a clip, and it's also a magnet here on the back as well. And so it makes it quite a bit thicker, but that way you can attach it to some different things a lot easier. So anyways, kind of cool that they made some like accessories for this. So this is something I'd really kind of call more of a gadget and less of a flashlight. So let me tell you about some of the updates that they've done here. So as you can see, of course, you have this scrolling head right here for selecting between the menus. You have 52 dots. And so that's, of course, what they use here for the display. Now, once you get to number 2, this is where you're going to find some more of the less flash-like light features of it, right? So this one's actually a game where you can start this and then you catch these little squares as they drop, right? So do you need this for a survival scenario? No, you absolutely don't. It is literally just something to do when you're bored, right? And so I know there's gonna be people out there saying, you don't need this. There's no scenario where you need this. Yeah, I agree, you don't. It's more of a fidget toy. It's more of just something to keep yourself entertained while you're, I don't know, bored somewhere, right? So anyways, some other games here you can go through, like The Matrix. They had all this on the original version, so nothing new here. They do have the police now, where it's red and blue. You can do red and white, all that kind of stuff. And then some other games like This Is Dice. And so, again, I don't know what scenario you need your flashlight to be able to do dice for you, but they have that now. So it's a roll of 3. You can also do rock, paper, scissors. So this is something I can see being fun for kids, right? So if, both your children have this flashlight, or your child and their friend had the flashlight, they actually play rock, paper, scissors on their little flashlights here. So it's basically just keeps going until it blinks, and it is both rock. All right. So anyways, it's just interesting, a bunch of the features that they added to this. Yes and no coin. This is just a little balance thing. Now here's where they did some improvements over the Kickstarter. And this was one of the big things that I really mentioned that there was a mistake, because they have 55 squares on the screen. And so their original, this is basically a timer is what this is. And so on the original one, 1 minute per se was actually only 52 seconds. And so that was a mistake. And so now they have fixed that. You'll notice that these squares light up yellow, then blue, then light blue, then dark blue. And so that's actually going to make up for the missing 8 squares for an entire 60 seconds. And so they got that fixed with that. And so super happy to see that. They also added, now they have a stopwatch. And so again, I think that's a really cool feature to have here as well. And then back to the game. So anyways, like I said, it's nothing we really need for a survival scenario. It's just something really cool that they added and just really makes the flashlight kind of stand out. So this is gonna be your settings. You can do a lockout. And so of course that way your button doesn't work here. This actually turns this device into just a flashlight. So you won't have any games, none of that. In fact, the screen doesn't hardly even turn on once you have it set into the flashlight only mode. Here you can go and you can adjust how strong the vibration is. Of course, you just twist this to adjust that later. This will adjust the brightness. This does the same kind of thing here. Changes if you want to scroll this way to make it brighter or this way to make it brighter. You can make that change as well. All right, so a bunch of different settings here that you can do right on the flashlight. And so definitely really cool. It's only 40 grams, so super lightweight. And then also it's Type-C rechargeable. And so kind of typical what you'd expect. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but the Spotlight has a max output of 400 lumens, which is pretty decent. And then the Floodlight has a max output of 270 lumens. And so again, also pretty decent. As you saw when I showed this outside, I mean, it's more than enough light for a flashlight of this size. So this is on sale right now on Amazon. And so the going price is actually $50. It's on sale right now for $40. Since it's a Black Friday deal, I expect it'll only last maybe a week before they go back up to the original prices on these. And then if you want the titanium version, it goes for $140. It's right now available for $112. And so let me know what you guys think about these. I mean, don't judge them too harsh. Like I already said multiple times in the video, this is not your go-to flashlight for camping. This is not your go-to flashlight for a survival or a bug out bag. This is just something kind of interesting, maybe on a keychain, you know, maybe for your kids. So anyways, in that context, let me know what you think about the flashlight. And if you guys are interested in picking one up, right now is a great time while they're on sale. And so I look forward to reading your comments. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.